Is that an X? Is that an O? XO Sports Talk? Yeah, let's go.
Here we go.
I got my swag back. Got it all the way back.
Millie Vanilli over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Millie Vanilli.
We got it back. We got it back one more time. It's XO Sports Talk. You know what we do. You're here again. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, fellas? For the 59th time we're doing this XO Sports Talk. We got it going on. We got it going on. We got it going on. We got it going on.
Oh, God, something else. Something else.
Yeah.
This is not on. This is all the time, folks. All the time.
It's all the way live. All the way live.
All the way live. This is how we do it.
He doesn't smoke pot.
That's going way back. Nobody calls it that anymore.
Yeah. This is just a man that's just running off of pure adrenaline of hazelnut coffee, no sugar.
Hey, there was a song, man, years ago. I get high with a little help from my friends.
Well, I hope your friends leave you alone.
Oh, man. I can't remember who made that, though. Was it the Beatles? I don't know. Who made
The
that?
Beatles.
Was that the Beatles?
That was the Beatles?
That was the Beatles. I get high with a little help from my friends.
See that?
If you need... All right, Lottie.
Okay.
There you go.
We got another.
He's got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Studio 54, 57, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the good old days, man. Huh?
Yeah. Everybody's a comedian. But back to sports. We'd like to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in once again. Terry, please tell them about the subscribe button while we're still sober.
All right, I'll try my best. XO Sports Talk would like to thank all our current viewers and subscribers for their support. For those of you checking us out for the first time, we are currently streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you're watching the show on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you can hear us discuss some of the latest news and rumors going on in the world of sports. And if you like what you hear from the channel, please share it with your friends by clicking on that share button. And as always, feel free to join in on the live chat where you can post your comments or call 475-221-5006 to join the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty.
And for all our listeners out there on podcasts, please tune in on YouTube. Just take 3 minutes just to watch the intro of Emerson. This is literally something that he doesn't, in production, our production meeting, he doesn't say, hey, I'm going to come out and do this. No, all of a sudden, when the music goes on, it's showtime.
Man, there's something about that music, man.
Please.
Something about that music.
Take 2 minutes just to see the intro of him, because this is just something that just comes right off the top of his head.
And you'll enjoy it.
I don't know, man. It just happens, man, huh?
I'll give everybody a quick story. It was about 4 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago. Emerson calls me and he leaves a voice message. And he sings a song. I was born to be a race car driver, but somebody stole my car. And he went, I was born a race car driver, but somebody stole my car. And I said to myself, no, he didn't.
Oh, man.
And I played it for about 2 guys at work, thinking that they were going to laugh. And they said, you know, that's kind of catchy. I looked at them, I'm like, what? He said, I went home and I looked at my little girl and I said, I was born to be a race car driver, but somebody stole my car. I said, okay, I'm done.
He took the muffler system off, man. That's what the problem was.
Oh,
The muffler system and the catalytic converter. Yeah.
Took it off.
Yeah.
Left it on crates.
But we're here tonight. We have Emerson. Say hello, Emerson.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome again, Exo Sports.
Terry.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Terry, the San Francisco 49er fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See the colors.
He representing.
And my brother, Brian.
How is everybody doing?
Hey, buddy. He's got a Dodger hat on, man. Maybe he's switching teams right now.
I can't get him to become a Yankee fan.
Nah, he used to be a Giant.
They give it to me for free. They can send me a hat. I'll do it.
And there you have it. Emerson, Major League Baseball update, please.
Well, listen, first of all, I want to send another shout out to our boy Malcolm, who couldn't be here with us tonight. Malcolm, hurry back, man. Come on, man. Listen, you've been on vacation long enough. Listen, I know you're somewhere probably doing another podcast somewhere, but listen, man, this is home. Come back to Exo Sports. We need you, man. We need you. Malcolm, we need you and we miss you, man. All right. All right. Listen, in the world of Major League Baseball, there's a lot going on, fellas. Well, let's start right here. Toronto Blue Jays, they fired a coach. You're fired. Charlie Mateo, they said, you got to go. You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. You know, I feel bad for the coach. You know, a lot of times when the players aren't producing and doing what they're supposed to do, it falls on the coach. And now he's out of work, looking for another job. Hopefully he'll find another job. I don't know. Maybe he can go coach AAU baseball. I don't know. Maybe he'll go down to the minor league ranks. Maybe somebody else in the major league will hire him. But Monteo's out for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's a fact. You can take that to the bank. But listen, I want to get on this 10-game win streak of the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. These teams were at the bottom of their divisions earlier part of this year, and now they're starting to crank it up, and they are doing it in fashion. These guys are on a 10-game win streak. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, though. The Baltimore Orioles haven't had a 10-game win streak since, I'm going back to maybe like 1999. So just for them to be able to play ball like they're doing right now and be able to play with so much efficiency, it's something to be reckoned with. And like I said, you never know what's going to happen. There's 162 games, and we're approaching the All-Star break. And guess what? It's that time again, y'all. The All-Star break, it's coming, and teams are going to be rearing up, trying to get pitching. People are going to be making moves after the All-Star break because the trade deadline is going to be coming up. So watch out. We got the big home run derby this year. You got some of the big power hitters in that. Pete Alonso, the Polar Bear, Ron Acuna from the Braves, Juan Soto for the Nationals. You got Kyle Schwarber. That's my pick to win the home run derby. You heard me say it right here on Exo Sports. Kyle Schwarber is going to win the home run derby from the Phillies. You got Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners, and you got Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. And don't forget our buddy, the old man, the young man, Albert Pujols. So listen, I hope they put Shohei Ohtani in there. Listen, I would love to see him in the derby. I would love him to be the starting pitcher for the All-Star game. And I want to hit you right here with my power rankings this week. And you know who they are. We're starting off again. Here we go. The New York Yankees. Okay, I'm going to give them their props. Listen, they're doing it. They're doing everything they need to do. They have one of the best record in baseball, 62-26. It's just hard to beat them. They just seem like they're clicking on all cylinders. I'm just saying, when are they going to cool off? When are they going to cool off? And they just keep winning. They keep finding a way to win. Even when it gets to the late innings, 8th and 9th inning. They find a way to come back and win. The Yankees, the evil empire. That's who they are, the evil empire. Yes. And coming in number 2 for our power rankings this week, we got the Houston Astros, just a solid team. They've been playing solid baseball all year long. They're coming in with a record at 57-30 right now. They're just playing solid baseball. They're well coached, and they just keep coming at you. They're just a gritty team, and they're just not going away. They're going to be a tough out when it comes playoff times. I'm saying it now, and I'm going to say it again. They're going to be a tough out. And then coming in third for our power rankings this week, we got the Los Angeles Dodgers, who won a thriller in Manila last night. They came down. They was down 6 runs, and they came all the way back to win it late in the 9th inning. Listen, I'm telling you, don't you count my Dodgers out. They're going to be there. It all comes down to it. Listen, they have a record of 57-30 also. So watch out, the LA Dodgers. They're just the big blue machine. I remember the big red machine from the 70s, but we're the big blue machine right now. Listen, coming in at third, we got the New York Mets. Listen, Met fans, I like your team. I like what they're doing. Listen, and they got the big dog back, Max Scherzer. He's coming in throwing like he's a man possessed. And I think they're getting ready to get Jacob deGrom back. He's doing a rehab assignment right now. Listen, Max Scherzer came back. Listen, this guy, let me tell you what he has been doing. He has, over 40+ strikeouts in 13 innings. It's just incredible what he's doing, and I think he's only allowed like 1 run. I'm sorry, that's 20 strikeouts, okay, over 13 innings. This guy is just pitching like a man possessed. They went into Atlanta and took 2 out of 3 from the Atlanta Braves, who's another great team right now. We saw them win the World Series last year, and they are coming in number 5 this week in my power rankings, the Atlanta Braves. I know they lost 2 of 3 to the Mets this past week, but let me tell you something. They are 30-10 since May. They are 30-10 since the end of May, and they're going to be a tough out in the National League. So I'm telling you, watch out, watch out. Atlanta Braves are hot. The Mets are hot. Los Angeles Dodgers are hot. It's going to be a showdown like you've never seen before. And, of course, we're coming up on the trade deadline, and after the All-Star break, this is when baseball really gets good because teams are getting ready to make that push. Like you just seen the Seattle Mariners team, who was totally out of contention. They just totally went on a 10-game winning, and now I think they're right there in their division. I think the Baltimore Orioles, they're like 2 games out of second place, who was a team that wasn't even thought of probably making the playoffs, but they're probably going to be a wild card contender. And let me just share this with you guys real quick. Shohei Ohtani. Listen, I don't know, but there are whispers around that he could possibly be traded. I've heard this on several shows. I've heard this on several different podcasts. I've heard callers call into different radio stations. Will they trade Ohtani? That's a big question right now.
Let's take it right there for 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Terry, do you think the Dodgers are going to trade Ohtani?
No, the Angels.
Angels, I'm sorry.
I'm going to say no, but anything is possible. I just don't see why they would do it, but you can't rule anything out. Never say never.
Okay, Brian?
Well, I'll tell you, if they are to do it, it's because of money. Let's look at it this way. The stats, we'll just say whatever they have at All-Star break. Ohtani, I'm going to throw Judd in there. Judge. If they double what they do, who will be your MVP?
Okay.
You can say, because look at Ohtani, says ERA, good. Strikeouts, good. Homers, good. So it would be money.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me just throw a stat out there. He's had 46 strikeouts in his last 4 starts, and they've been 6-1. And if he doesn't start, they don't win.
Yeah.
So I'm just showing you what type of player and the caliber of player he is. But we know what Mike Trout is making there. Will they be willing to open up the wallet of close to, let's say, $400 million?
He's getting about
let's
400.
say $400 million, because that's probably going to be the going rate when it's time for him to sit at the table.
Yeah, Judge going to get about that much, and he's going to get about that much.
He is a player we have never seen like this since Babe Ruth, and I wasn't even around when Babe Ruth was playing. But with all the stats and all the history that we know of, there's no other player in this modern day era like him.
No.
So he's going to be worth $400 million on that contract.
What do you think,
Aaron? Will the Angels pour out that money?
You think they would trade him?
Or will they throw out some money, or will they trade him right now?
No, they're not going to trade him.
Okay.
If you have the Dodgers that are one of the hottest teams in the National League out in California, you also have the rise of the San Diego Padres out in California.
Yep.
You have Mike Trout, who is basically the darling of the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a Japanese player who's going to bring in fans and the media and broadcasting rights to show him pitch over in Japan. You don't give that up. That's the same thing what the Yankees had when they had the Japanese hitter. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Matsui?
Matsui.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fans were up at 2:00 in the morning to watch him play.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a guy that can hit and pitch. That's money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't let that money walk out the door.
Don't sleep on Seattle, though.
So you let him go anywhere to another market. And this is a guy that could have went anywhere that he wanted to go. And he didn't want to go to the Yankees. He didn't want to go to the Dodgers.
He didn't want to go to the Mets either. I think the Mets were
or the Mets. He wanted to go to Anaheim. And that says something about him. And so now you've got this gem just selling the rights over in Japan.
Yeah.
To get the TV rights.
That's big money.
Can pay his contract. So no, I don't see him going anywhere. I just think there was a reporter that put it out there. Some people said, "Oh, what the heck? We don't have nothing better to write about. We're coming up on All-Star break. Let's run with it."
All
right. But time will tell. I could be right. I could be wrong. But I'm going to say I was right.
We'll see what happens. And I just want to also say this right here, just to conclude my Major League Baseball weekly update. The Toronto Blue Jays also were without 10 players because they weren't vaccinated.
Yeah.
They had to play a game without 10 of their core players because they were not vaccinated.
Yeah, COVID's not over.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
And the coach.
That's my report from the MLB.
And the manager got fired.
And the manager got fired.
Bummer.
You're fired.
Throw that on top, huh? Yeah, just throw that on top.
So guys, who are your picks for the home run derby? You got Alonso in there. You got Ron Acuna from the Braves. You got Juan Soto from the Nationals. You got Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners. Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies. Albert Pujols from the Cardinals.
I'm thinking Acuna from the Braves.
I'm going to Alonso.
Pujols is in there just for... Where's the All-Star game at?
It's going to be at Dodger Stadium this year.
Oh, that's why he's on it. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Emerson, for the MLB update.
I got Kyle Schwarber.
You're still going on.
Yeah.
Time's up, buddy. You need a buzzer. Terry, WNBA All-Star game.
Yeah, so WNBA All-Star game took place last Sunday. A lot of good, fundamental, exciting basketball took place. They had the 4-point line in the game this year. So, they were splashing away from there.
Yes.
It's the first time in the history of the WNBA that the All-Star game was played in Chicago.
Yep.
And you had Team Wilson beat Team Stewart 134 to 112. A lot of emotions going into this game, for the fans and the players, because it was the last time that the fans would see Sylvia Fowles and Sue Bird put on an All-Star uniform, as they are both retiring at the end of the season.
Yes.
They both received their flowers literally as team captains. Breonna Stewart and Asia Wilson presented them with flowers during the game at half court.
Yep.
Second half of the game, the players wore jerseys with Brittany Griner's name and number, 42 on, in the second half of the game, to honor her and, make a statement that, they want her back. The league misses her, players miss her, fans miss her, the game misses her, free Brittany. And as far as the game goes, Sylvia Fowles got the crowd going and the game going early with a breakaway dunk in the first half, which was exciting.
That was like, I said, what?
What down?
I said, what?
Man, that was a sight to see. Definitely brought so it was already energy in the building, but it brought more energy to the building. And Kelsey Plum, she won her first All-Star. In her very first All-Star game, she won the MVP. She also tied a record by Maya Moore in the All-Star game, scoring a record of 30 points.
But she had 30 plus one, something like that.
Yeah. And, I'll just say this to the fans, as Sue Bird and Fowles are retiring. I think it's safe to say, with the likes of Breonna Stewart, Asia Wilson, Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, and Sabrina, if I mess up your last name, forgive me if you happen to tune into the show. Sabrina Ionesco, all have necks, man. So, they've given us Sue Bird and those guys. They've given them the best years of their careers, but the league is definitely in good hands, man. Yeah. So, and you know what? Season's resumed. We got some games to be played in the regular season, and look out.
Yep.
The playoffs will be here before you know it.
And I just want to say...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, T.
One last thing. This could potentially be the last time, as she's mentioned, that she'll make the decision at the end of the year, but this could be the last year that we see Candace Parker in the All-Star game and playing in the WNBA uniform. So,
wow. Yeah.
Another great career.
Yes.
And I was just going to say, Sue Bird, just if you had to picture what you want a number one pick to be career-wise, she's it, man. Yeah, lived up to the expectations of
pioneer of the game, pioneer in the WNBA. She's phenomenal. She's had a great college career, and that just transferred right over into the WNBA. And a lot of times you see so many players that have great college careers, but it doesn't translate into professional professionally. So
especially to make it to 40.
To see her play to this high level right now at her age is just absolutely phenomenal. So,
and her Olympic career.
And her Olympic career. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what her trophy wall looks like.
Yeah.
She's won on every level.
Yep. Oh.
I got no trophies. Got nothing. Wow, so depressing right now. Guys, should the Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat, or the Los Angeles Lakers make a trade for Kevin Durant? Emerson.
Well, here's the deal.
Okay, Biden.
Over the last week or so, we've been hearing so many rumors and so many different takes on several different sports shows and podcasts and YouTube clips. I'm just here to say Durant will be playing in New Jersey in Brooklyn for the Nets, along with Kyrie Irving, along with Ben Simmons, and that's going to be their team this year. The draft capital is just way too much to be able to make a trade for Kevin Durant. I don't know if there's any teams out there that have enough draft capital to be able to entice the Brooklyn Nets to say, yes, we're going to give Kevin Durant one of the 1, 2, or 3 best players in the world of basketball, because he has an accomplished career. And I just don't know if you're going to be able to get that in return with all the picks you want to find. If you want to find picks for the next 10 years, I just don't know if they're going to be enough to say, yes, we will make the trade for Kevin Durant. When you have a player of this caliber, you do whatever you can to make him happy, which they have done. They have made several trade moves to make sure Kevin Durant was happy, because he's just a box office player. And if he wants a certain player, the management has to write, and they need to do what they need to do to make sure that player is on that team, so that your star player, your all-world player, is happy. And so right now, we've seen several different scenarios about trade possibilities. And as I'm looking at it, he's not going anywhere, because there's just not enough trade capital out there that you're going to get in return for Kevin Durant.
Hey, Terry.
Just want to give a quick shout out to Bethany Grace, who's in the chat. She says hello from Illinois. So
Hey.
Shut down,
What's going on?
Illinois.
Yeah,
The fight in the Illini. The fight in the Illini.
Yeah. To me, the team that needs him the most will be Miami. But like Emerson said, they definitely don't have the trade assets to pull a trade like that off. Out of the 3 teams that you mentioned, for me, and it's kind of out there, but I think the Warriors should make the move, right? They have the assets. They have some picks they could offer. You basically got or have 3 or 4 more years, good years with Curry and Klay Thompson. You find a way you talk to Draymond Green, you sit him down, you tell him to play nice, behave, whatever it takes with Durant. And to me, it's all about what the Warriors, if they were to do something like that, what do they want to be? Do they want to be known as one of those great teams in the league, or a dynasty like the Lakers, Boston? Who am I missing? Am I missing someone from this? Lakers, Boston, just those 2 teams that are considered great dynasties in NBA history.
Chicago.
The Lakers Chicago. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Lakers, in my opinion, don't have enough to offer anything to the Nets. But in my opinion, I'm not trading him anywhere in the Eastern Conference. He's got to go out west, because I don't want to see him.
That's very true, T. Brian.
Yep. And that's a very good point. I didn't even think about that, T. So that kind of cuts that down in half right there. And just to say, problem is a lot of teams don't have the assets without gutting your team to give up to trade for them. I know there was a little bit of rumbles about the Lakers. They definitely don't have enough to do something like that. Miami, they for sure don't have enough to do that without gutting your team. And as Terry said, and I feel the same way, is the Warriors is the only team that can do something like that. And it really wouldn't affect them too much because they can give up just throwing something out there. Like if you gave up a Poole, Wiseman, Wiggins, and threw in just 2 first-round picks, that Mike can do it. And you'll still have your core, still have some young players, Kuminga, Moody. Yep. And so it wouldn't really affect you too much. So that's the only team, but I think he may be on to something. I don't know if they will do that. But to me, Golden State is the only team that has the asset to do it where it wouldn't affect their roster in that way.
I don't see the Lakers not getting him. That brings a smile to my face. And Terry brought up something that I agree with. I don't see as the Nets sending Kevin Durant anywhere in the East. I would love to see him go to Miami. I think that would be really nice to see him with Butler down there, but in the end, I don't think he's going to be there. And one of the teams that's not up there, I can see him in Phoenix. I can see him in Phoenix. And another team that may want to make the push to get him is Dallas.
I don't know. Who do you have? You got no assets to give up.
You might have to give up picks.
But you still got to make the money match.
That's not enough.
Yeah, you got to make the money match. Yeah, so you got to send some players.
You might send some players, but
you're not taking just picks and bombs.
No,
I think. But if you're Dallas, do you?
That's why I'm telling you.
I can't give up. There's nobody money wise that's going to match everything.
Let me ask
like
both
Brian
you guys
said.
something.
Yep. Okay.
If you take Dallas and Kevin Durant is on Phoenix, can Dallas beat Phoenix?
If Durant is on Phoenix,
yeah,
probably not.
I'm going to say no.
No.
With Dallas's current team, no.
And
So,
what you're saying with
where I'm going with this is, if Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix, Dallas is going nowhere.
But one thing I want to say on that is when you say go to Phoenix, well, who's left to play? Because you're giving up starters.
Who's left to play? Who you giving up?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So that's a big question.
Because you're giving up pretty much your starters and a couple of your young players.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are no dummies, and they're just not giving him away.
Yeah, you're not taking Jay Crowder and some
you're not just going to be.
But the thing about it is, I don't see him staying. I think he's going to be on the move.
I have a choice.
He got 4 years.
Because that owner said, listen, I've done everything I can to make you happy.
Well,
I made the trade for Harden. I gave up picks. I gave up all my you can have Harden.
Sometimes an owner can get tired.
Well, and would you take Wiseman?
Owners never get tired of watching their money.
Aaron, would you take Wiseman, Poole, and Wiggins and 2 first rounds?
For
heartbeat.
That's like 3 starters right there.
Wiseman, Poole.
I wouldn't give up Wiggins. I would not.
Well,
they're just not going to give you. Wiggins. Do you understand this? They're just not. I mean,
I think Wiggins is still coming into his own.
Yeah. So who are you giving up?
That's
what we're trying to say.
I don't know, but I know
Brooklyn's not just taking anybody. I don't want your 9th man on your bench. I don't want your 10th man.
I know.
You know?
But I just can't see. I like Wiggins.
See yourself having.
I like Wiggins.
Well, he's not going to Golden State.
You like him now. You like him now. Before he got to Golden State, people were saying,
Yeah, he
he
almost
wasn't
got
up
pushed
to
out of the
his
league.
potential. Yeah.
He almost got pushed
Yeah.
out of the league. Let's just keep
Yeah.
it real.
So-
He almost got pushed out.
But
of
the
the
thing
league.
about it is, there are certain players that are average during the regular season,
Mhm.
and then there's certain players that can rise to the playoff.
Or is it because he's playing with an all-time great and a
Exactly.
couple of good shooters?
Yes.
Well, but that's
Not
just
much pressure.
but that's the key. When you've got good players around you, can you still produce, or will you choke? Now Tatum was on the other side, and at times you're waiting for him to just take the ball and just drive to the basket, dominate the guy Patton, and he wouldn't do it.
Well, Wiggins been how long Wiggins been in the league?
Wiggins came in, 2015?
He
He
was-
was like the number one overall pick
Yeah.
in 2014,
So-
Yeah,
2015.
he came when LeBron went back to Cleveland, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the number one guy.
So he's been in the league a long time. Tatum, that was his first what was that? Finals
Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah.
So you expect them to be a little,
Mhm.
you know, sun in their eyes.
I wanted Tatum to be the bully, and I didn't see it.
Oh.
But
He'll be all right.
Yep.
He'll get stronger next year.
And they made a couple of good
Oh,
pickups
absolutely.
still.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. I look for Boston to be right there in the thick of things next year.
yeah,
And what about Donovan Mitchell? Where's he going to land? Where's Donovan Mitchell going to land?
Well, being a Knicks fan, you know, hopefully he'd be there.
Yeah, dude. Now,
New
the
York,
Knicks,
man.
will the Knicks relinquish all of that capital they have? They have a whole bunch of picks. Are they going to get rid of those picks? They got all those picks. What are they going to do with them? Now is the time for the Knicks management to step up. Leon Rose, who is it? Rose who's running the show?
Rose,
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Rose. Leon Rose, give up those picks that you have accumulated and get Donovan Mitchell on Madison Square Garden. Put him on Broadway. Go
Not giving up
get
RJ.
Donovan Mitchell, New York Knicks.
How many picks are you giving up to get him? That's the question.
I'm giving up 4 number 1 picks to get him.
And who else?
At least. Let's start right there. I'm giving up 4 number 1 picks, and you can take anybody else you want. Here, I'll give you a Randall. I'll give you a Randall.
So does this make them a playoff team?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
First round?
You have Brunson in that backcourt. I love his grittiness and his savviness. You got Brunson and Donovan Mitchell in your backcourt. And now you can throw some other players in there. And then you still don't forget, what's his name? Quigley. I like that kid. What's his name? Quigley?
Yeah, Quigley.
Yeah,
Daniel
yeah,
Quigley.
Daniel
You got
Quigley.
him.
Yep.
I mean, that's a nice 3-headed monster for your backcourt. You throw a couple other bigs and get some wings that you can find. I think the Knicks have a very good shot at being a playoff team.
A team that'll get bounced out in the first round or advance?
You never. That's all depends on who
You're giving up 4 first round picks. So is he
I don't know what
somebody-
those picks are going to be.
Is he
I have no
somebody?
idea what those picks are
Yeah,
going to
but
be.
is he somebody that's going to get you past the first round or eliminate the
Potentially.
first
That's
round?
like saying with the Rudy Gobert trade, though.
Listen,
They gave
yeah.
up 4 picks. Is Minnesota guaranteed to get to the finals?
We're gonna get there. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll say this: the Knicks got a lot of picks. They didn't draft anybody in this
They didn't
year's
draft
draft.
nobody.
You have to do something,
Yeah.
With
you gotta
those
do
picks.
something.
or
Yeah.
you have to do something.
And I have to do something right now. I have to tell you guys we're moving on. What are the Minnesota Timberwolves thinking, giving up 4 first round picks and players to the Utah Jazz? Timberwolves get Rudy Gobert. Jazz gets Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Walker Kessler, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Landro Bellamaro.
Mhm. Yep.
Guys, is that a lot or is that not? Terry.
It's a lot, in my opinion, man. That's a lot. A lot of picks to give up for Rudy Gobert, and I know Defensive Player of the Year. But for me, well, the trade to me does a couple things. I'll start with the positives. It lifts that heavy lift or that heavy load off of Karl Anthony Towns from having to defend and score. Now that you have Gobert, he can step out from the paint a little bit, shoot that mid range. He can step out to the 3-point line, as you know. And Gobert should be able to take care of the offensive rebounds down there, defensive rebound as well. And I know Gobert, he's not, at least in Utah, he didn't get a lot of shots, but he got most of his shots off of rebounds. And I think he's led the league in field goal percentage the last 4 seasons because of that. So he'll get you definitely offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. You know he's going to block shots. He's going to protect the paint. And what I feel is like Minnesota said, hey, we have Patrick Beverley, but he wasn't able to stop a John Morant to get to the basket. So let's throw somebody back there that can just meet him at the rim. Again, a nice relief for Karl Anthony Towns, because let's face it, he was gassed at the end of those playoff games.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why they lost a lot of those leads, big leads that they had in a couple of those games. So to me, it says that they're all in and they're going to try to win a championship, but I'm not sure if they could do it because that Western Conference is so competitive. I'm just not talking about the playoffs. If you go on a bad losing streak in the Western Conference, you can find yourself out of the playoffs real quick. So, so it was a lot. Yeah, I think you just have to see how it plays out long term. But they're definitely trying. They're trying to get a championship.
Emerson.
I have to agree with Terry on this. They're going all in, and I want to believe that the powers that be, they're in the management, sat down with Cat, speaking of Karl Anthony Towns, and said, listen, we are considering making this trade. What do you think of that? He understands the banging that he goes against night in and night out, but teams are trying to double down on him when he's on the low block. And I think in a player of Rudy Gobert's caliber, who's able to be that rim protector and to be able to rebound where Karl Anthony Towns can now flourish on that mid-range shot and also step out on the 3-point range and be able to let his skills flourish from there. I think everything had to do with Karl Anthony Towns making sure that he has a player next to him that he's able to go to battle with night in and night out. Yes, it seems like a great amount of draft capital that they were able to that they had to give up to be able to make this trade happen. But in the same breath, your star player, and I'm gonna say it again, your star player has some say-so in these kinds of moves. He knows that he needs another rim protector there, somebody with that can be able to help him be able to cash in on the rebounds, be able to get some outlet passes going, be able to block some shots. And now he's able to do some other things that he's capable of doing because we know Karl Anthony Towns is a talent. He is an extremely great, talented player. And I think this is going to help Minnesota. But what Utah is doing right now in their front office with Danny Ainge running it right now, it seems like they're having a fire sale. You got rid of Rudy Gobert. Now Donovan Mitchell is on the trade block. So I'm going to say Minnesota wins on this right here because they're all in right now to win right now.
Brian.
Well, I think Minnesota, obviously, like you guys said, they're going for it. They feel that their time is now. You've seen Cat, he played well. Anthony Edwards, you can see he's just blossoming, gonna be something great.
He's gonna be great.
Yeah. But the trade, when I seen it to me, it shook up the market. Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Automatically you think if they got that for Rudy, what is it for like a Kevin Durant,
yeah,
or Kyrie?
Yeah.
What is it? because now you're going into elite. Not that Rudy's not a great player, but to me, he did get exposed in the playoffs. Let's not forget that.
Yes,
so it was almost, coach, take him out because he couldn't D out on the wing. But I think Danny Ainge is, as Emerson said, he's in rebuild mode. I kind of see what he's doing, but I don't know what he's doing. And so we'll see. Having a whole lot of draft picks, but can he bring in some talent after he
did the same thing with Boston, though, Brian? Brian did the same thing with Boston. He just kept accumulating picks.
Yeah.
He kept accumulating picks.
Yeah.
And I remember that everybody would say, what is he going to do with all of these picks?
Yep.
So,
that's what he's doing now. So,
but he did build an NBA team to go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they got a championship out of it.
So, I mean, for years, we talked about what was Danny Ainge doing with all those picks, but his selection of players was still good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some organizations you can give them 20 picks and they will still blow it. So, time is going to tell. Was it a good move getting Danny Ainge, or was it a bad move?
Aaron, I'm going to say one thing, though, with the Danny Ainge, as you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
He got that championship with Kevin Garnett, who was pretty much handed to him as a gift.
That's true, Kevin McHale.
but the thing about it is, this team here was built on Danny Ainge.
Yeah, I'm going to say that, but I'm saying he was there for a while. And he got that championship with the Garnett, but he the Kevin Garnett stuff. Getting Kevin Garnett was, let's be real, it was a joke. Yeah,
it was a flat out joke. Mm-hmm. Larry Bird.
No, Kevin McHale.
No, but Larry Bird said this.
Oh,
he said, "What just happened? Minnesota, Kevin McHale giving a gift to Danny Ainge."
Yeah,
made him laugh.
So that's why I'm like, he's been there that long, and he got that championship was a gift, so he wouldn't have really got that.
But he did bring in the other talent.
Yeah, he brought in Brown and Watson.
He did.
So you gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, we'll give him credit.
So he did build a team to go to the NBA Finals. You got to give him kudos. And let's face it, there were some years that was it coaching.
You brought in Brad Stevens. You thought Stevens was a great coach. You brought him in. You said he was the guy for the job. Now he's up in the booth. He's in the front office.
Yeah. Taking Danny Ainge's job. But guys, what NBA team or players have surprised you in the Summer League? Emerson.
Cole Swider from the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a baller. He can flat out shoot the three. He's a dapper dandy. Oh my God, you got to see this kid. 6'9", 220 pounds. He comes from the Jim Boeheim stable of nothing but great, solid players, fundamentally sound. He is going to be a great asset to the Los Angeles Lakers this year. He's an undrafted free agent. They have him on a 2-way contract, and I believe he's going to be able to give the Lakers 10 to 12, maybe some nights 15 minutes coming off the bench. This kid can flat out shoot the basketball. Watch out for him. Cole Swider. You heard it here on XO Sports Talk. The Los Angeles Lakers found a diamond in the rough. And listen, that Scottie Pippen Jr. is playing pretty good ball too. But I want to send a shout out to all the other top-notch players that are out there, Murray and all those guys that were in the top. They're really playing really well right now. And I've seen a lot of players that have some promising NBA futures in this summer league. So it's been some nights I just sit and watch, and I'm like, oh, wow, who's this kid? Oh, wow, I didn't know he's NBA ready. I'll look at another player and say, oh, wow, yeah, he's NBA ready. He can give the team some good minutes coming off the bench. So there's a lot of teams out there, and I've seen some second-year players that have really improved their game. We know Kuminga, he's just out there balling like he's like nobody's business for the Golden State Warriors. What is it, Moody?
Yeah, Moody.
He's just out there balling like nobody's business. So those guys are ready to take that next leap. Already, having a little taste from the NBA, but playing in the summer league, I think just getting these reps in summer league basketball is going to just make them that much more efficient this coming season. So, but Cole Swider is my guy from the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah.
Keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
In 5 years, we'll see where it's at. Player for me is Paolo Banchero. I was surprised that the Magic picked him. I think everybody was surprised at that. But I know one of the things about Orlando Magic is they already have a talented team, but one of their weaknesses is they didn't get, at least last year, they didn't get to the free throw line a lot. I think they were ranked at the very bottom of the league in free throw attempts. But this young man coming out of college, he's got already a body type that can absorb contact and finish through contact. And I think in the 2 summer league games that he played, I think
he's shut down now. I think he's shut down for the rest of the league. For the rest of the summer. They say, "Oh no, you're not getting hurt."
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he shot 20 free throws in 2 games, so he can get to the line. From the games that I did watch, I mean, he looks like he could be a solid defender. I like he changes well on offense. He kind of plays at his own pace, doesn't get rushed. And I think, at 6'10", 250 pounds, he's already, in my opinion, physically, I think he might be the most NBA ready out of all the players that were selected in this year's draft. So kudos to him, man, because I did not see this coming. But like I said, for the Magic to shut him down after 2 games, that means they like what they see, and this guy could be a very big talent.
Yes,
exactly. So we'll see.
Brian,
but he's my guy.
Players that impressed me that I've been watching, Sacramento Kings. I like Keegan Murray.
Yeah, Keegan. Yeah.
He's been putting up.
Yep.
He played in the California Classic League as well as the Vegas Summer League. Been putting up 20 points at least in the last 5 games. I know that. Boston, I thought Sam Hauser is a good outside shooter. He's been playing good in the Summer League as well. So there's been a lot of talent out there, I would have to say. The kid, I can't even think of his name, is Holmgren from OKC.
Chet Holmgren.
He actually impressed me. I thought he would be a little thin around the rails, but he actually he played stronger than he looks, his game wise, physically. So he did kind of impress me.
He's a gem.
Yeah,
he's a gem.
Well, and going into free agency signing, a couple of sleepers that I thought, once again, the Warriors always seem like they know what they're doing. Picking up Dante DiFrancesco, who used to play with Milwaukee. He went out to Sacramento, and then Golden State just picked him up. Another good shooting guard after losing Peyton the second. What is he, second or third?
Yeah.
But,
third,
so
right?
I thought, I think he's the third, right? So I thought that was a good pickup for them. And Boston picking up Gallinari.
That was
another
huge.
Person to spread the floor so your athletic wings can get to the hole. So.
And they picked up Malcolm Brogdon. Don't forget about that.
Malcolm Brogdon was huge.
Not only a good defensive player, but he could shoot the ball a little bit too. So
Malcolm Brogdon, that was huge.
Yeah.
Tune in to the Summer League NBA.
Summer League. Yeah.
Now, with a little bit of time left.
Ooh.
Because we only need a little bit of time for this. The Cleveland Browns trade Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers. Guys, what team won in this trade? Terry.
I'm gonna go with Carolina. Because to me, Cleveland right now they don't know who their starting quarterback is yet. And if Watson gets suspended for 1 year, which that's the rumor that I think is being pushed for. I know they have Jacoby Brissett. He's a serviceable quarterback, but he doesn't really have any experience running that Kevin Stefanski's offense. And also, too, the kicker in this is the Browns are paying a big chunk of Mayfield's contract. I think they're going to
$10 million.
Like $10 million. So, the Panthers, to me, a lot of people feel this is it's an improvement at quarterback. Some people are saying it's a major improvement at quarterback for the Panthers. We'll see. I know they did say that Mayfield and Darnold are going to have to compete to see who gets this starting job. But, look at the numbers. Mayfield and Darnold both came into the league at the same time. I know Mayfield has a better passer rating at like 88% compared to Donald at 76.9. But again, Browns don't know if they're going to have Watson at quarterback, and they're going to pay a portion of Mayfield's contract. So to me, Carolina won out on this one. They got away Scott kind of cheap, real cheap.
Yeah, $10 million that Cleveland has to pick up. And it's $4 million that Carolina is picking up. Mm-hmm. And Baker Mayfield, which his contract for Cleveland was $18 million, he left the other $3.5 million for incentives. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
Emerson.
Well, listen, I'm it's going to be a wait and see because there's so many other things that need to be ironed out right here. We first got to see what is the penalty going to be for. Who's going to the starting quarterback they have
Watson
that they made Watson.
Yep.
That trade, how long is he going to be out? What's his effectiveness going to be like when he returns? Is he going to be out 8 games? Is he going to be out the whole entire season? You said something, Terry, about Jacoby Brissett being a serviceable quarterback. I have to agree with you there. I think he is a serviceable quarterback, but we're looking at the future. I'm sure the Browns are looking at the future and what they're going to have in Deshaun Watson. So, but to get up off that money they had to get up off of to make this deal happen, I want to say the Panthers have won in this case, but will we see the Baker Mayfield of old? Will we see that Baker Mayfield that was a quarterback that had playoff a reputation on him? Will we see a quarterback that really is hungry to show everyone that he still has what it takes to be a number one NFL quarterback? Right now, I'm hearing in some of the roundtable discussions that they're not sure if he's going to be able to beat out Sam Darnold. They said Sam Darnold looked like he has worked on some of his things over the summer, worked on his craft to make sure that he's like, hey, man, you're not going to just take my job. So with that being said, I want to say the Panthers definitely won, but I think it's going to be a toss to see who's going to win that quarterback matchup between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield.
Brian.
I don't. I'm going to flip it or pancake it, whatever you want to smash it. I don't think neither one of them win. To me, I think I thought the Panthers, you bring in Baker, which I understand why, but you gave up some draft picks for Sam Donaldson to get him. So looking at it that way, Cleveland, I thought you gave up what we would say. I would say Baker is a serviceable quarterback. I think everybody would agree with that. I don't think he's a bum.
You mean Brissett?
No, I'm talking about Baker.
Oh yeah, Baker.
No, I'm just talking about he's not a bum.
Yeah. Okay.
And they was forced to get rid of him because of the move that they made. So you had a quarterback already under contract. You have a quarterback that you got that might not play this season, so you had to wind up getting rid of him. Baker, on the other hand, looking at it from his point of view, you got a quarterback who's coming up on a contract year. You were leaving a team that was talented, and you're going to a team that's less talented, and they're still going to have good expectations to make the playoffs. So it's going to be tough. So he's going to have to play well, and then trying to play well in the contract year makes it that much more tough. Or, just to keep things calm, you try to and not do too much, but it can be a disaster.
Yeah.
Cleveland won.
Think so, huh?
Big time. I think Atlanta was a bunch of suckers. For the simple fact, he had $18 million on the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I would have released him. That's what Carolina was supposed to force the hand of Cleveland to release him. And then they could sign him. But what they did, they turned around and gave them a fourth round pick, and a fifth round pick, and if he starts and he does well, it turns into a fourth round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe they were worried about somebody else snatching them too.
Then you go ahead. You go ahead and let them go ahead and sign Baker Mayfield if they want to go that road. But I'm not giving up a draft pick for him.
But a fourth and a fifth round is nothing, really.
And here's another reason how Cleveland got over. Cleveland has Deshaun Watson on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson is only going to make $1 million this year. That's it.
But he signed for 200 plus.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It really doesn't start until next year because Cleveland knew that he was going to suspend it. So they really looked out for Deshaun and said, "Hey, this money is going to be backloaded for next year." So now for Cleveland, you have Deshaun Watson for the future. You take a look at Baker Mayfield's style of football. He needs a clean pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if anybody coming up in his face because of his height, he's in trouble.
Yep. But he's Baker.
And in the AFC North,
he can juke him.
Pittsburgh's offense was not that good last year, but Pittsburgh's defense was pretty good. And they got after Baker Mayfield. Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North, their defense is good. And you have Lamar Jackson. And what you saw last year, that Browns offensive line wasn't that good, and Baker Mayfield just got beat up.
Well, he's Baker, the candlestick maker.
And my last point is,
wait till you get to that line in
when
Carolina.
you go to Carolina, I don't know what that head coach is doing over there. Because the head coach, he has too much power.
That's why they brought him in.
And he's not doing anything.
Everybody wanted him.
Yeah.
Remember? Matt Rule. Everybody wanted him.
And I said to you, and Emerson, I said to you, when they brought him over, I said, he's got too much power. I said that to you.
Man, he's coming in with a new regime, and he's going to change things here.
And I said, he's got too much power coming into the job. And now you're seeing that he's a dysfunctional head football coach.
Give him some time.
You brought in Sam Darnold. You brought in now Baker Mayfield. And then you drafted a quarterback in the draft.
Hey, we're waiting to see what Baker's going to do. Baker, the candlestick maker.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, when my cousin is joking around like that, that means it's time to say goodnight. But before we go, congratulations to Michael Jordan making the cover for the second time on the NBA 2K23.
Yeah, MJ,
cool.
huh?
Yeah.
He brought the pizza, and now I get sick and I throw up. Where's
Okay,
the pizza
Terry.
at?
Terry,
I
please.
want the pizza.
Terry,
Yeah.
subscribe.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Debbie
man.
Gamble, who's in the chat family.
All right. Hey.
Hello. And also to Lizzie, who joined the chat.
Oh, hey.
Hello to you.
What's up, people?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for
Welcome.
joining them.
What's up, Deb?
Hey.
What's up, and Lizzie? Yeah,
Yep,
we thank
yep.
all of our fans. Thank y'all for tuning
Yeah.
in.
Thank everybody.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
We appreciate
Lizzie,
it.
come back. Come back next week. We'll be here.
Yep.
Tune in.
Right here.
We got some. We're talking about the latest sports news, rumors, gossip. Yeah, you get to see a little bit of dancing in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
We got some TMZ stuff going on. There's some stuff going on in Hollywood.
Hit that subscribe and notification bell. Yeah.
We got some stuff going on in Hollywood. Listen, we got it all, huh? Stay tuned, huh?
Yeah. Stay tuned for everybody, for Emerson to say goodnight, everybody. Emerson.
Everybody, good night, and tune back in next week. We'll be here.
Thank you, everybody. God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you,
And
everybody.
just remember, tune in to XO Sports, huh? You don't want to miss this show. Go tell somebody about it. Go right now. Get up off your couch and go tell somebody to tune in to XO Sports next week. Did you hear what I said? Go tell somebody.